Thanks for driving, Edward.
Yeah.
Who am I that the highest king would welcome?
It's something I think about a lot, and I think it's a common question for believers to ask. Who am I? Finding a sense of identity and purpose is important not only for your life on earth, but that question can also indicate calling out to God as to why I'm significant to Him. So who am I? To list a few I can't control, I am a son, a brother, nephew, grandson. I am a man.
Mike, what'd you have for breakfast? 2 croissants.
You put him in an itch.
I don't remember that at all.
It's either you or Jonah.
And to list a few I can control and have come to adopt, I'm a friend, an athlete, a creator on all different levels. Most importantly and above all, I am a child of God.
Like, I don't even know where I am. Tell me where I am.
Nope, I don't know.
Raised in a Christian home with a great family and an amazing upbringing, I was led to my full commitment and understanding of what it meant to be a Christian in 2017. I committed my life to Christ during a summer camp event and had a burning desire to tell as many people as I possibly could about the gospel. I got baptized shortly after by my father and my grandfather, who also happens to be a pastor at my home church. I was ecstatic and extremely excited to live for Christ. And up to this point, I wish I could say that it has always been, but it hasn't.
Driver's a savage.
Mike is less of a savage.
I've always struggled with who I am, as in what my purpose is, where am I going? Like I said, I think it's a very common question for people that are growing of age and figuring out what they want to do in life. I was talking with a coworker that also happens to be a Christian, and when probed with my question of how did you know what God wanted for you in your life, he said, identify in the past how God has used you to impact other people for the better. How has He used you to evangelize and spread His word? And he said, once you can identify that, it's very simple.
Finish the Via Ferrata. I can't even begin to describe how terrible this camera is compared to the human eye.
There is a high probability that how He has used you in the past is how He will use you in the future. If I had said that to me at an earlier age, everything would have been a lot more simple on where I'm going, what I should do. I've always been a people person and have recognized that all the ways God has used me in the past is usually through connecting with people on a personal level. When COVID-19 came around, I was extremely limited in my ability to connect with people. Not being able to use my gifts, talents, or skills in a way that I was before was extremely frustrating. I did anything and everything for attention. Instead of turning to God to be filled as I once was, I resorted to sin. Lust, selfishness, pride, arrogance were the main contributors in what I looked for to be satisfied.
Oh no, you beat yourself!
Through trial and error, I learned that none of them did fully satisfy me. And as a result, it dragged me farther and farther down into the mud. Through a long, painstaking process of trial and error, I learned how to cope with life's difficulties naturally. And at the time, I thought it was me who picked myself up and got myself through those difficulties I had faced. But now I know that through people, events, and experiences, God was the one who picked me up. Wiped my face clean of the mud, guided me to the showers, handed me clean clothes, fresh sneakers, socks, and allowed me to walk on my own 2 feet.
That's really cool. It's like blue, green.
I had chose sin and resorted to the things of this world for happiness instead of looking to Him. Some people would say that God put those things on you. No, God didn't put those things on me. He simply allowed me to experience the mud a little bit before He picked me up. Instead of putting others down or resorting to selfishness, Jesus taught me while being in the mud that instead of that, lifting people up allows you to be lifted up by them as well. When I smile, they smile back. Giving out love, compassion, empathy, and joy has become a passion of mine.
You're getting some supplies.
We can rise up from the
can't even. Look at what the camera did. Hey.
It's a little cliche, but letting Jesus shine directly through me to influence others for the better, there's really nothing I want more than to do that all day, every day, and on as big a scale as He allows. I want people to see me and instantly say, I know and have seen that before. That dude has Jesus. Or, what does that guy have that I don't? What makes him different? What does he have? And all I have to do is point to the one that gave me eternal salvation. So Germany. My father, Eric Pearson, helped start a non-profit organization involving sports ministry 20 plus years ago, leading people to the gospel through not only the baseball team, but eventually the church. I was 3 years old when I went to Germany for the first time, met 2 guys that are very close family friends now. I've kept touch with them through social media, and ever so often we see them on family vacations. The only problem at that time was the language barrier. I couldn't speak a lick of German, and they were very limited in their English that they were able to communicate. So it was very hard to get to know them on a personal level. Christmas 2022, my father had told me and the rest of my family that we would be going to Germany if we could get the time off from our job. We were all pretty excited as there was a little bit of uncertainty that came along with that. The months that built up from departure, I wasn't necessarily struggling with my faith more than I was looking for a community of fellow believers the same age as I am. I started really praying for the first time in a long time, and within the first few days of arrival, my prayers were answered. Wow. Josh and David are the 2 guys that are a part of that family that I'll be spending the most of my time with. And unlike past family vacations with the language barrier, both of their English has improved so much. I was able to have some really good conversations with them, and it was extremely refreshing to talk to someone my age about my faith, the struggles we may face, and just get that outside perspective on each of our situations. I was fortunate enough to spend 2 Sundays, a few baseball practices, and restaurant runs with the players on the Atomics team. The best way it was put to me as to what I will actually be doing there is I will be a bridge from the community to the baseball team, a bridge from the community to the church, and also a bridge from the baseball team to the church as well. As my coworker put it, identify how your skills, talents, and passion have had a positive impact on the people that are directly affected by you, and God will most likely use you in a similar way. I believe I am called, just like any of Christ's followers, to evangelize. I strongly believe that not only will the time I spend in Germany allow me to do this on many different levels, but learn from those evangelists in Germany on how they evangelize to people who haven't even heard Christ's name. Like, where do you start with that? The hope is that I will learn and grow in my knowledge of the gospel, learn the process of the evangelistic way, and put it into practice everywhere I go for the rest of my life.
Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me.